All right, what's up? Welcome to the official Trade Talk channel where I show you how I analyze price for the most consistent and higher probable entries to help you guys become better traders. Why so early? Well, I got stuff to do. I got to go somewhere at 9:30. So we'll do the live stream right now. If a trade pops up, shows itself, we will take it. How does that sound? Right now, as of the only opportunity that I am currently looking at, because I haven't had time really to go through everything, I've been doing other things, would be this right here, Mr. Aussie CAD. Let's go to the daily, and let me show you what I'm looking at. So, yesterday we got a bounce off May's open, like absolute perfection. Like, look at that. So what I'm thinking here is this might hold, right? The May open at 0 spot 89620. That is on Oanda's exchange. So we'll watch this level right here. This is the trade that I took live in front of everybody right here on this day based on that support right there. And I got stopped out, and the very next day, boom. That sucks. It happens, right? Happens to everybody. So don't let that get you down because there's always an opportunity in this marketplace. All right, let me check here, make sure everything's good. All right, perfect. Good morning, everybody. I see the chat, which is fantastic. All of my future legends. So yeah, I've been working on the options stuff. I got like 1.5 like 1.5 videos that I have to make. I've just been writing stuff down, important stuff. Literally, it's gonna take some time, so please just bear with me. But we will get those videos up and rolling. And that's simply because the US has made it difficult for Americans. As I was told, Sunday, they're now requiring KYC over at KuCoin. So that essentially just leaves MEXC. That's literally like the only brokerage or exchange that you could potentially trade on, as far as I know. I mean, that might be down now too. I'm still trading at Bitget, and everybody that gave me their user IDs and stuff, we're trying to get stuff situated, but I mean, it's really getting difficult, right? A lot of people is not able to do, trading. If you can't trade futures, like I said in Sunday's video for the main, for the Patreons and channel members, is if you can't, protect your downside, right? If you can't hedge on an asset, there's no reason to trade it or own it for that matter. Because like, if you only hold Bitcoin, that means 100% of your however much you own is at risk, right? And there's no way to hedge that. So if they completely make it impossible to hedge Bitcoin, then we're gonna focus on other things like forex, stocks, options, and because there's money to make every single day in every single market. All right, it's not just this one, and there's not many people that are actually even responding to Bitcoin stuff anymore. So there you have it. People are either bored with it or they've just given up. All exchanges are at like 5-year lows for people. That's because of strict U.S. regulations. So I am short Bitcoin. I shorted it Sunday. I actually took entry right there. Hang on, let me get rid of that. On this candle here. Why this candle here? Because it took out the previous day's high, which was that candle there. So essentially, I just took a short position with a very small portion of my portfolio, and then I put a sell limit to go in max size at 304.80, which is the weekly heat level, or aka the weekly supply zone. And you can see that right there. So essentially, I was looking for entry there. We never got there yet. That's up here. So my short is from exactly this area right in here. All right, exactly right there. And it's been working out, as you can see. I basically discussed this in full on Sunday, but we're going to run through it again. I don't like this candle. I don't like this formation. I am not a pattern trader, but this is what people used to call Wyckoff distribution formation or a 3-drive topping formation. There's so many names for it, and it all means the same thing. When you set new yearly highs and literally make insignificant new highs, then after about the third time of that, you will see price, dump. That's because there is more supply in the asset than demand. Literally, people are getting out of Bitcoin for whatever reason. All right, whether it be the US, whether it be the FTX collapse right there, whether it be the Luna collapse right there, whatever the reason, people are getting out of it. So what I basically said is we need to see this thing go. I was extremely happy when we got this candle on Thursday, when we got this candle, because we were seeing massive weakness in the DXY on the dollar. I'm talking massive weakness. So if you go look at the day that you retested the yearly opening range and dropped, that date is July the 6th. If we go look at Bitcoin on July the 6th, that puts you right there on this crazy day, right? Where you made a fresh yearly high and dumped, but closed at support. Now, the important thing is, we're expecting, because of dollar weakness, we wanted to see Bitcoin, break out of this range. What is wrong? Thank you. We want to see Bitcoin break out of this range. So what happened on this Thursday is you had a nice push down to daily support where you tagged the 21 exponential moving average, and then look what happened after that. You got bullish daily close, and you had 2 days of consolidation, then another bullish close, closing above that resistance, 2 days of consolidation, and boom, it was looking very, very good, right? Very good. Closed above resistance and made a fresh yearly high while the dollar was melting. So we would expect Bitcoin to at least be a little bit stronger than the dollar, right? But no, that is not what happened. Instead, what happened is Friday, you got a massive reversal, and you are seeing downside trend continuation. So I went ahead, took a short on Sunday, because really and truly, this day right here upset me tremendously. This let me know that literally all of that right there is nothing but supply, and likely going to see Bitcoin have a correction at least to the 50 exponential moving average. We have no levels in here on the daily to look for potential support. You got an old weekly res there and an old weekly res there. Now, you can see where the 21 and the 50 are on the weekly time frame. So this still looks bullish and constructive. So just a pullback until you take out the 21 on the weekly. All right. So if you want to buy it, then you want to wait for pullbacks into support. Right now, this is the last support that we are struggling with as we speak. You can see it trading under the last daily support. You tested it yesterday and got a nice bounce. However, here you are today looking for downside continuation, potentially heading down to take out yesterday's low. And this is also happening while the markets are freaking mooning. I mean, the S&P 500 is literally ripping shorts faces off, right? I mean, just exploded to the upside. This was July the 4th that week. So since you had the 3.5 days of trade, all it literally did was pull back to where an old level of resistance right there. And then it took off. Boom. Straight to the upside. I am looking for a pullback. This thing is still printing bearish divergence on the daily. You had bearish divergence on the weekly. So, yeah, I mean, a pullback is expected. However, when you look at the weekly, you had 2 weeks of pullback right there. So, I mean, this thing could go for another 3-4 weeks to the upside. So don't be trying to short this thing, right? Like, Just wait for a confirmation signal that says, all right, yeah, maybe we can get short now. What am I talking about? Potential blow off top. I don't expect it to happen anytime soon, as all the bond yields are still massively inverted. However, with the inversion, it usually coincides with recession. And we do know that there's like a 95% chance that the Fed is going to hike rates in July this month. So it's never turned out good in the face of a recession when the Fed hiked. All right. So if the Fed continues to hike, then it's definitely more than likely going to cause a recession. And at that point, we'll be short. That's when we'll short. Right now, you're trying to pick a top. Stop it. All right. But yeah, I mean the Nasdaq, everything. You look right there is your all-time high, ladies and gentlemen. You are almost there, literally almost there. So I would assume you're probably going to take that out, right? But it doesn't have to. Obviously, it can roll over at any time it pleases. So yeah, here's the VIX, just literally trading at levels that we haven't seen pre-COVID, right? Pre-pandemic, you're trading at those levels, which, honestly, I didn't believe we would ever see again. I never thought we'd see a 13 VIX again, but here we are nevertheless. The market isn't open, so there's no point in me pulling up VIX options because the prices are not on, if you will. So I can't show you the skew, but there's still a massive skew versus call buying. Basically, what that means is like your at the money calls are more expensive than your at the money puts, massively, like quadruple. If I just show you where it closed yesterday, like this is just 21 days out, you can see that this might not be the actual accurate price, but you can see $2.09 at the money, 48 cents at the money on the put side. So that obviously shows us that people are still hedging. All right. And it's a smart thing to do because we don't know what's going on. Here you go. Look at the call volume versus the put volume, massive. And if you look at traded at the ask or above, 135,000. So a quarter of the VIX calls yesterday that were bought were traded at the ask or above, which means I don't give a shit what price. Just buy it, right? Just buy. So that's that. I did put a link in the description for Tastyworks, all right? Because if you guys are in the US and you are going to trade options with me, then I want you to use tastytrade. The reason is because if you deposit a minimum of $2,000, you can sell premium. That's right. You can sell premium. There isn't many options brokers out there that will allow you to sell premium based on margin. Tastytrade does. There's a link in the description. If you use my code, obviously it will, it'll take you right there and all that. So there you go. Put the link in the description for Tastyworks or Tastytrade, whatever it's called these days. Anyways, the VIX is holding at 1360. The level's at 1299. So I mean, am I looking for it to bounce here? No. I'd like to see the VIX get oversold. I don't know if that's going to happen, but yeah, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and buy maybe at the money calls at this point. I mean, people that were buying at the money calls up in 19, 20 bucks, they've literally seen their portfolio go down massively. But now now that it's been trading at this level, then picking up one wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, because I mean it can still go lower, obviously. We can't really look at any data beyond 2000 and yeah, let's just say pre-pandemic you had lows of what, $9. So there's still a $4 decrease that you can see on the VIX. So yeah, but it is a way to hedge your upside portfolios. We do have people that literally bought when I told them to, when we had a massive pullback, and now some of them positions are up, 140, 200, 300% in some cases. It's time to either A, take profits, or B, hedge your position. Yeah, that's the way it is. Hedge, hedge, hedge. You have to because you're getting massively overbought on the SPUs, massively overbought on the NQs. Now, the US 30, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Index, made fresh yearly highs finally. All right, you're trading above the yearly open, you made fresh yearly highs. So, do we see this thing break out? If it does, then that means the majority of the marketplace is actually turning green. Here you go. This is yesterday, right? At the close of yesterday. There is some red in there, but, most of your tech stocks were up, which is called the Magnificent Seven these days. But if we do get a broader marketplace, like a broader green marketplace, then you're going to see these things make new all-time highs. That's just the way it is. AT&T and Verizon getting absolutely spanked yesterday for reasons unknown. Coffee, good stuff. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, Greece. Greetings, boss and future legends. You don't have to call me boss. Is the option broker accessible by Nigerian? Oh, I do not know, my friend. I do not know. Unfortunately, I was mainly referring to, U.S. citizens because anybody else that lives in the world can still trade Bitcoin, right? You can still trade altcoins. And the reason I like that space is simply because of the crazy moves. Look at XRP. Just the other day, I guess it had a good thing that happened at court, I'm assuming, because this thing blasted off in one day and moved 100%. Like 100%. 99.8% in one day. That, my friends, is volatility. And that type of volatility can literally make you rich. It can also make you very, very poor. But if you know what you're doing, you can become rich. That's a fantastic move in XRP, and we knew that the court decision was going to come, right? So it's simple as that. You could have just literally bought monthly support, and boom, to the upside she goes. All right. Ethereum was looking more constructive Sunday because Sunday is right here. You can see that you're having, moves up to the upside. Nice little head and shoulders right there, smoked. So it did look constructive. It no longer does. All right. I guess you got a level of supply right there you can watch. But literally, if Bitcoin drops, this thing's going to drop too. Right? It's as simple as that. And I don't know that Bitcoin is going to drop. That's the important thing here, right? Directional bias trades are 50%. You have 50-50 chance of being right or wrong. So obviously I'm positioned for a short at 30,000. What is the exact price? The exact price is $30,399. So you can just go ahead and call it $30,400. All right, 30,400. So if it does roll over, I'm positioned nicely. But however, it is with a small position size. So I am going to be looking for another move to the upside. I wouldn't mind it getting back up to weekly resistance, as these are the areas right here that I would suggest, or at least assume, that price will stop. All right, price will roll over and go back to the downside. It's been in a range for a long time now, and it can stay in the range. Here's a low right here. If it takes that low out, you will have taken out the low of the range. But you really have not had anything doing since the BlackRock announcement. So either need something massively to happen, good for Bitcoin to drive demand back into this product, or it is literally just going to be 1% days. And 1% days, I mean, no, that's not fun. There's like little money that can be made on a 1% move, unless you're extremely leveraged, but I won't get into that either, because most of your crypto exchanges take a lot of money for high leveraged positions. So it's best if you use low leverage. We just need a move to happen. Right now, we are bearish. All right? We're bearish. Now, on the long term, I'm still bullish. Obviously, I'm still holding all of my spot. Nothing has changed on that front. It's just this thing should have moved to the upside. It should have at least hit $35,000. It should have taken out that gap. You had ample opportunities to do so with the dollar being so weak. All right. With that being said, other positions that we were looking at, the CAD Swiss short, obviously looking freaking phenomenal still. USD CAD, we're watching to see if it wants to find resistance. I would say probably roughly around this area. 132.6. 132.6. If it gets up in there and then starts to show a little bit of resistance, then we're going to look to short it again because the dollar has broken down. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right. Moving on. So we're expecting Bitcoin to move lower until it stops. Where to? Like I said earlier, potentially the 50. Like I said, there's an old daily resistance level up here. Maybe it drops to like round the 50. But this is what I'm going to tell you. I don't want you to buy a 50 test. All right, right off the bat, I don't want you to buy a 50 test. If you see something happen that looks, oh shit, I can't go that far back because that was when the markets were bearish. Here, maybe there's a good example somewhere else. Not really. Let's check the Qs. No. All right. Well, let's just go back to the S&P 500. If you see something, I want you to see something like this, right? Like you get a breakdown, daily closes below, then the next day doesn't really do anything, and then you go back down, maybe take out that day's low. Then, and only then, if support holds, you can look to buy, right? Something like that. Like you want to see it break down. So on the first attempt, you don't want to buy it, especially if it's coming in with heat. Let it go. Let's see what happens here. I don't really care how far it drops. I just want to see if support is built in roughly 3 to 5 days upon testing the 50 exponential, 55 exponential. And then if it does that, you can buy it, right? Because then your odds are a little bit better. As in bull markets, 50 tests are decent places to look for bullish entries. And unfortunately, Bitcoin is bullish still. All right. Even though it struggled at $30,000, this thing is up massively on the year, 89%. So it's still up. The trend is up. So you do want to look for upside entries. But we haven't really gotten any. All right. So we'll see what happens if it does pull back to the 50. It may stop here. I don't know, right? It may stay. Like if you close today back above this line, then any retest of that line, I would be interested in potentially buying because that is a support hold. If you close below it, then no, right? Then no. There really isn't no short to take today because you're trading near the daily low. I wouldn't like necessarily say, yeah, you can take a short at daily support because you've broken down on an hourly basis because look what happened here yesterday, right? You broke down and then right back up. So I wouldn't suggest shorting it right here, but if you get like say up to $30,000, $28 maybe, or this daily support maybe. You want it to be up before you take short entries. You don't want to take short entries that are already down because you're already down 1.7%. And the historical volatility on this asset for at least the 3 days have been roughly 1%. 1%, 1%, 1%. So you've already exceeded what I would say, could potentially be the low. Now, if it has a 5% day like it did Friday, that's different. Then you can short here. But your chances are not as good. All right, so moving on with Bitcoin. We're just short and waiting for it to roll over and test the 50 if it breaks down. If it doesn't, then we'll talk about looking for longs at $30,000. It's just From 30,000 to 31,000, this thing can't get anything going. Every single time it has made a move to the upside, fresh yearly high, it has been massively sold off. That is not a good sign. Typically, when you make fresh yearly highs, you want to see bullish continuation. Now, something I tweeted the other day, just a random tweet. Look at this. I do not understand. Anyways, random tweet over here, basically saying that, for this year, since we've been up at these prices, the midpoint of the month has literally called trend changes in two scenarios, June and April. In May, it did not. So I said, be careful buying up here, because you could literally see the market roll over being the midpoint of the month. And we've seen that twice happen in the last 3 months. So the odds are, pretty good that it could roll over. And boom, it dropped. It dropped. So is this the monthly high? I don't know. But if it is, you want to look for, midpoint tests roughly in here. So we'll see if it does get up there or not. What's up, Trade Talkers? Is the options... Oh, yeah, read that. Good morning. Hi. Has anybody been trading USD Turkish Lira? No. But you could literally just buy it. Wherever it is, just buy it. This thing is a monstrosity. Excuse me. Monstrosity. All right? Monstrosity. I think it is done, right? It is done. This is not good at all. This is when the government intervened, and boo, not good. Not good. I wouldn't be buying it here, obviously. You should have bought a daily support. Always. Always, always. If you want to buy something, buy the daily support. I mean, it literally gave you a perfect opportunity to get long there and there. That's where you want to look to be a buyer. I wouldn't have bought it up here because it's all-time highs. But it looks like it's going to keep going. 26 Turkish lira to $1 US, almost 27 at this point, which is very high inflation, but it's not as bad as Japan. It takes 100 and what? 100 and some yen to make $1. So I don't know why people, 138 yen to $1. So that looks like pretty bad. USD JPY trade, phenomenal, right? Phenomenal. This is based on dollar weakness and yen strength. We can see that if we just go look at the currency futures right there. Boom. Nice. Nice, right? So you got yen strength and USD weakness, and nice move to the downside. I am still holding this short from here up there. So this is what I want to see. Yes, this is my downside target on the USD JPY. 123. 123. All right. Beautiful rejection. Beautiful rejection at quarterly resistance. That's what that was. I mean, these are your high probable areas, guys. And also the fact that it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days before it actually rolled over. See there? So sometimes you get a perfect test and then it just immediately reacts. But this is the best case. This is what you really want to look for. Stuff like this. Because it's showing you resistance, right? And that's your trade entry to the downside. Because we've been bearish the dollar all year long, right? All year long. Pound dollar, just smoking to the upside. Nothing to do there. Euro USD, same thing. Smoking to the upside. This and this was the only two places for entry. I got long here and got stopped out. All right. And then I was not able to trade this, or just didn't for whatever reason. But yeah, that was the second entry. So entry there or entry there. Not yet. You got to wait for a pullback and wait for support. You're probably going to get it because you're massively overbought. All right. So pretty much on every single front, we've been right, except Bitcoin. Everybody was calling this a bear market bounce. Not us, right? We understand market dynamics. We understand that people have to invest That's what they do, right? Your 401ks. They got to invest, even if it's in a bear market. They got to figure it out. And they did. They figured it out good. Buy it, because it's going higher. And it did. So, yeah. Right now, on the Tasty account, I have a couple trades on here. I have a calendar spread on the XLF, and then I just have a call way out. I sold a call way out on this right here, the MES. The MES is the micro ES futures. So you can trade options on futures. And literally, this right here, it took up like $700 of margin, right? Now it is smaller, obviously. This, the account has got $5,000 in it, all right? So it's up almost 2%, right? And those positions are far out of the money and way out in time. So I don't have to do anything. Just watch the premium decay. Price can continue to move up against me. It does not matter, as I am short way up here, right? Way up there. So price would literally need to look like Nvidia or something for me to close that position down with a loss. But the way it works when you sell premium, obviously, is the longer you hold on to the position. And if the position is obviously going in your direction, that would make it a little better. But the fact is, it is moving up. But it's okay, because I'm way out in time. So I can close that position at any time. Any time. So there we go on the small account. Up 2%, not bad. So yeah. What else? Aussie dollar is back up above the yearly opening range. We have an area here, which is an old level of supply, and it looks as if though that is what is holding as support. So at this point in time, this might be an area to get long Aussie dollar, as this is the second attempt to get above the yearly opening range. If this acted as resistance here, but then you got a breakout, pull back, and you're back above it. So I like the odds that as long as dollar weak, Aussie strong, right? Dollar weak, Aussie strong. 0.67999 is the current price. The level that you're looking for is 0.67872. 67872. If that level holds on a daily closing basis, we will be getting long that one as well. Oil, it did finally go right back up and test the May open, but bleh, it puked there. So you're still trading in May's range. Still trading inside the range. Might not be May's range. Yeah. May's range right there. It's May candle. Support res. I mean, you could have shorted oil right there. Right freaking there. And you'd be up nicely right now. What else, guys? What do you want to see? I know the market's not open, but what do you want to see? Tell me. Tell me. Obviously, this is the product that I'm trading over there. I don't have real time on this. I'm like lagged by 15 minutes, but I have real-time data on Thinkorswim and on tastytrade. So, yeah, we want this thing to roll over. It would be very great, right, if it did roll over, because I'm short a call. Might take some more trades since I have margin. I still have plenty of margin to use. I got over $4,000 of margin, $4,355 of margin still to use, and I'm in 2 positions. Think about that. It's fantastic. Like, I didn't know such was legal, but it is. It's amazing. Beautiful. A man's in 2 options positions, 1 a calendar spread, and then just a deep out of the money call, which would literally tie up like $50,000 worth of leverage or margin inside of TD Ameritrade, but not in this. It's great. Fantastic. All right. Brian Rubin. Let's go see if you posted in the options room. You did. Let's look at it. This is a options GBT US. This is for options. It's AI picking plays essentially. We've been watching it. Brian is trading it. I ain't yet, but the reason I'm not trading it first and foremost is because of the way that it's picking these plays. Like for instance, on Para, it's a strong buy, right? Nice liquidity. And they want you to buy the August 18th expiration, which is literally 30 days away. And they want you to buy deep in the money calls. When you buy deep in the money calls, any pullback is going to cause that call to lose intrinsic value. You have both time, which is theta, and vega, which is volatility, against you because time reduces the price of the option as well as volatility. Both of those things are two Greeks on options that literally over time decrease in value. So I don't know why it's making calls like that deep in the money. I mean, the stock is trading at $15 and they want you to buy $10 calls. But that, I mean, it's going to have a high delta. That's for sure, being that far in the money, but I mean, that doesn't mean that you're going to make money. So let me pull it up. Well, I can't because the market's not open. I can't get accurate pricing on options. I can trade the MES because it's a futures product. So once again, this is a futures product. So it trades 24/5. And that means I can place options 24/5 on that product. Place options trade. So you're trading options on futures. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. So let's see here. Para, let's check it out. Let's do a price check. Paramount Global. It looks bad. Once again, it's picking really oversold stuff. Really, it's not oversold. Oh my goodness, here we go. Let's see what you got. New list. I thought that was. Well, anyways, I bet, yeah, it's the same list I was looking at, I think. Well, anyways, this is a strong buy, 1010. Deep in the money calls, once again, August 18th expiry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Literally all of them are the same expiration and deep in the money calls. What is up with that? I don't know, man. Seems broken to me. But anyways, yeah, they want you to buy $10 calls. That's all the way down here. So price continues to move. You're going to lose intrinsic value and you got 30 days. You need this thing to turn around and start moving to the upside in order to make money on that trade. Do I like it? It's at support. It's at support. It's massively oversold, though. I mean, this thing is getting absolutely rectified. That's weekly support there. That's what you're testing today. Pre-market, though, you're at 1530. So right around there. What Brian does, ladies and gentlemen, is he buys and then sells when he gets just a small bounce, a small intraday bounce. He's only looking for like a 2 to 4% gain on those options. All right. He's not holding them to expiration. In most cases, he's not holding them for more than a couple minutes, depending on if the bounce goes his way. Pre-market, you're trading 3 cents under support. So if you want to buy that at the open, I would give it a few minutes to settle down before you buy it because you're going to be under support. All right, so maybe if it takes out yesterday's low or something like that, if that even happens, it may gap down here and then just start going up. Just keep an eye on it. But, it's cheap enough you can just buy the underlying. You don't have to buy the way out of the money calls, or way in the money calls, I should say. So that's what he's doing, right? He's just getting small bounces. Like if this thing just trades up to like 1548, he'll probably bounce with a 2-3% gain on the future, on the actual position. He's got a lot of money, so his positions, are going to be different than yours. But yeah, let's see what happens here. We'll keep this. We'll watch it. See what happens later on today when I get back. All right. All right. Been easy money so far holding shorts against TRY. Yeah, obviously. It is literally just going to the moon. That's a fantastic trade. I don't see any reason for you to stop. Now, one thing that I do want you to understand is this thing can get volatile. Like if the government does intervene, it can get volatile. This move right here, this is a forex product. Let me remind you, that move was like almost a 50% move in the span of 4 days, 5 days, something like that. So when it gets like this, like you can see massive blow-offs, but just protect that risk, hold that risk. I would love it if you were in at like 19 or 23. I wouldn't even worry about it. Just keep holding it. I mean, it's today it's mooning, but good stuff there. Yeah. Back in May, June. Nice. So you're in, yeah, you're in nice. You're in nice place. You're up $7. $7. That's huge in forex. Huge. Good morning. Can you look at XRPD, see a pullback? Do you know, or do you think it could go again? I think the move is pretty much done, in my opinion. I mean, could it find support? It can. Let's get rid of all of this because this is all old. We'll leave that there as it is quarterly res. Yeah, you're coming up to another quarter res. Boop. Right there. Right there. Yeah, I mean, it's very volatile. It's up almost 3% on the day, and it's a small daily range. So it does look like people are buying it. Well, it looked like people were shorting it on this day, but buying it there, buying it there. Why were they buying it there? Because it's daily support. That's why they were buying it there. Red line, red line. That's where most of the volume is. So people are starting to listen to me, finally. Yeah, that's where you wanted to be a buyer, but wiki. So it's, you literally wait for price to get back up, show you that it's holding, which it did here. This is probably where I would have entered. I would have taken profits on that move to the upside, right? That would have probably stopped me out because I use very high leveraged positions with very tight stop losses. So I don't think I would have survived that trade today. But the trade is in, right? The day is in. You're moving to the upside. If you're looking for a short, obviously you can watch today's high or intraday resistance. Do we have any daily res? No, you don't. Not till all the way up there. 4-hour resistance here. Yeah, right there. 77192. If it's a bull flag, it's a bull flag. So I don't know if I'd be a buyer or a seller. If you want to sell it, look for fresh daily highs or a test of 77,192, which is 4-hour resistance. It is also almost supply. But you're making higher highs and higher lows since this candle. Well, you haven't made a higher high yet, but that's yesterday's high. So if you're going to short it, I would look in this area. As far as buying it, I mean, you're buying it when it's already up 70%, 59%. You missed the move, right? You missed it. So now you're chasing it. Now you're chasing it. It's best to buy these things when support is clearly formed. I mean, that's just an old support on the daily right there, and literally tick, tick. You could have bought it then. However, buying it then, you would have been buying it at highs as well. I think this thing's been trading like under 50 cents for a while. Yeah, all year. All year. But it made a nice move. As far as shorting, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. It's bullish. You know what I mean? You're up on the year and you're up pretty big now. So if Bitcoin rolls over, this probably will too, but this is up for a whole different reason, right? It's up based on a court decision. Obviously, it was a favorable one. I don't know because I don't follow XRP. I'm sure you could get information from someone like, damn, what's his name? Blockchain backer. He seems to be an XRP guy and knows quite a bit about it. So, but as far as technicals go, I wouldn't be a buyer after it's made a 100% move. No, no, I would not. In fact, I would be selling. I'd be taking profits if we got that big of a move, right? Because you're in your third quarter now. It can continue to go up. So support 73.47, and then the next support is right there. Already been tested. So you're trading in a tight range, but that's the area to look for longs. If you get a pullback to that. But you must hold. You need a wick through it and a hold. A close above. Then I would watch the next day and look for bullish entries on it. But I will be watching that now because it is up so good. With Bitcoin rolling over, Ethereum rolling over. Let's go look at the Bitget watch list. For non-US users, there's also a link in the description for Bitget, which is a fabulous exchange. I love trading on it, and it's a shame that they're not taking no US citizens anymore. So there you go, right? Literally out of a lot of products, you only have a few that are up on the day. XRP being one of them. Right there, 2.6%. Everything else is down. So I would indeed be looking to sell into that. But remember, if it's in a short squeeze, which it probably is, that's a massive rip. You could see it continue for a few days. This would be the ultimate level of resistance to look for shorts if you get back up there. That's a quarterly resistance level. Very good level to look for short. Like, if I would have been watching this on that day, I would have absolutely thrown a short in right there. Absolutely. But I wasn't. So here we are, 5 days later. So just be careful. Make sure you mind your risk. If you're a buyer, look to buy support there. If you're a seller, there, up here, right? Manage your risk. Don't, go 100x long on this because you think it's going to continue, because it doesn't have to. It just depends on if there are more buyers or sellers. There were more buyers, but just think of the people that's been holding onto this asset all year long, right? Think of those people. Now their investment has paid off as they are up huge. So anybody that bought into here, which was me, but on Bitcoin, these people are going to be taking profits. That is a big move. You got a 100% move on a one-day candle. It's probably like 130, 140% move. A 100% is always a... Oh, before I forget, somebody asked me, because you can't watch live, on Twitter, how do I know when to sell, right? Like, how do I know when to get out of a trade? My answer to that question is rather simple. When you're up, okay? When you're up. It depends on was it an investment? Where's your stop? Like there's so many things, but I can tell you a way. All right. If you're just literally holding it based on weekly basis, then anytime you make a fresh weekly high, right, you take profits, move your stop. If you're in it long term, anytime you make a new monthly high, right, anytime you make a new monthly high, that's a good place to look to take profits. Now, obviously, you got a much bigger move after that, but it's impossible to know if that is going to happen or not, right? So since we can't know if that's going to happen or not, you have to set rules for yourself. Absolute rules. If I bought it at the beginning of the year, I'm taking profits at a fresh yearly high, for instance. Fresh monthly highs, fresh weekly highs. It just depends. It depends on if it's a trade or if it's an investment. If it's an investment, you just hold it. That's what you do for investments. You hold them, and over time, you expect the asset to appreciate. It's simple as that. But if it's, profit taking on trades like swing trades or day trades, you use the ranges. All right. All right. So you can clearly see this is quarterly resistance here. This is a monthly chart. You can also clearly see that this is monthly support right here. So had I been buying XRP, it would have been at 47 cents. All right. Why? Because it's monthly support. Then you go into the smaller time frames and you look for daily supports roughly in the same area, right? And then you watch those prices to be a buyer. And in that case, like if it's a day trade, you're literally just waiting for it to take out yesterday or the previous day's high. That's your profit target on a day trade. Like you bought it there, you take profits when you reach yesterday's open or yesterday's high. If it's a swing trade, then you do it on a weekly basis. All right. That means you would take profits at the next, like if you take out last week's high, that would be a good area to manage your risk by taking profits and then moving your stop. By doing it that way, because we don't know what price is going to do, you pay yourself for taking the risk. So you take more than 50% off, right? Pay yourself for taking the trade. Make sure that it is a profit. Your P&L goes up. So I take roughly 70%. And then I leave 30% of the position open to catch any continuation. It's literally impossible. The ranges is where the high probable trading is, right? This stuff right in here, like literally quarterly res, monthly support. Like this is your high probable entries. Shorts, you're looking up here. Longs, you're looking down here. It's that simple, right? Monthly ranges. So yeah, you would have been taking profits upon reaching a fresh monthly high or taking out the previous month's high. I myself take profits at resistances also. That's another way, right? Like if I take an intraday trade, for instance, let's not use that as an example because this is what you get most of the time right here. Not that. That is an outlier. So don't look at that and be like, I want to catch stuff like that. The only way you can catch stuff like that is if you're in a long time ago and you're just holding it as an investment. It's impossible to time a move like that. Now, you did know that the news was coming out, so typically we could have traded that. Like I said, I'm not much of an XRP fan, but you can see how the market moves back and forth in ranges. The market trades inside of ranges 60% of the time. Your trending conditions happen less often. Therefore, it is better for you to take profits inside of the range depending on what you're looking at, right? That's why I said this strategy can literally be used on any time frame, any basis. If you're looking to get in a position, wait for the monthly to close. And you can just simply buy the open of a new month, right? I mean, look at this open of the month and it just went straight up. Open of the month, you had a little down move, tested literally monthly support and up, right? Just, you could buy Now, it's not going to work all the time. If you bought this month, for instance, you lost money, right? But you could literally just buy the open of the month and take profit at the close of the month, because we know that, markets generally trade inside a range here. So since the early open, you traded in a range. This was the range. That was your resistance. And then this month you broke out. Boom. Closed above resistance. This would have been the resistance, but it closed above that. Then it formed support. So this is the area you're looking to buy. This was the best area to buy. A retest of last month's resistance. Right? This is in an uptrend, obviously. Now. But it was even before this day. This is a monthly bull flag almost. I would have expecting it to be breaking out this month or breaking down this month, because, a couple, 3-4 months in a row, you're not moving anywhere. You're staying within the confines of the range with just few wicks. And, those wicks are what gets you, because you place your stop too close or something. But if you're trading on a monthly basis, right, you just buy support. That's your risk. And just so happen, you're looking for a 2-to-1 risk to reward. A breakout would essentially give you that 2-to-1 risk to reward, right? So you can trade it on the day, weeks, months, years, quarters, however, right? You can buy the quarter open, yearly open. I bought the yearly open. Why? Because I know to do that. It's funny now, because now people on Twitter are starting to talk about stuff like this, and they never did before. I find that amusing. But you didn't see nobody talking like this before, right? That's the way you do it. It's as simple as that. Mind your risk. Mind your risk. You're only looking to make the range, right? That's literally it. You're only looking to trade in the range. Anything outside of the range is not expected. It is called continuation, right? But you can't expect continuation all the time. That's what a lot of traders get in they get in a hurry, and they want to, they see this massive spike and they're buying up here. Like, no, dude, you buy down here. You buy support. And in this case, you would have just went like, all right, so now I'm going to wait, because this is what? A trap, right? Because this candle said it is. It took out the high of the previous candle. This candle said that candle was a bear trap. So any test of this price is a good place to look for buy entries. Right there. Buy it on the way back up, all right? Set your stop to below that wick. Here, you got another perfect test. You could have bought then. Now, all supports don't hold. Like, this was weekly support, then you broke down. So you wouldn't have been necessarily looking for a long position until you tested the breakout right there. Right there, because if this is going to be a bull trap, then you're going to take that out, right? If it's going to go continue to the upside, then you're going to be looking to buy retests of it. You just got to be patient, and you got to wait, literally, like a sniper, right? You got to find your level that I'm teaching you, right? Monthly opens, closes, and then just wait for that perfect opportunity. And mind you, it can take days to happen. You got people buying up here. You got people selling down here. That's not the right way to do this. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look like a buy, right? When you're coming down and down, but ultimately, that is the heat level. That is supply. We know it's supply. Why? This is old rudimentary education that I taught a long time ago. Why do we know that supply? What was it, a weekly? Yeah, right there. Why do we know that there's not supply, demand? Apologies. Supply is above the price, demand is below the price. All right. Why do we know that this is a demand zone? Why? Because the next week left the region and closed above. So there was more buying going on in this candle than there was selling. Right? Much more buying going on inside of this candle. But if you look at volume, it's going to be bearish. Shit, I don't have volume. Let me see here. And we'll wrap it up. Volume. If you look at volume, it's going to say that it was bearish volume, but it wasn't. There was more buying going on in this candle than there was selling. Otherwise, it would have continued to the downside. Here was a breakout. This was your proof that that was a buying side candle. So there's plenty of demand in there. So what do? You watch for that candle's open to be tested. If it is true demand, price will run away from it. Para. Yeah, I looked at Para already, Mr. Brian. Where are you at? We looked at Paramount. That's what. So yeah, there you go. Perfect example. We drew this line before the market opened, and there you go. Take profits. See? Before the market opened, we drew this line and said, on the open, it's going to be a little bit lower. See if it continues, or do you get back above the line? Buy it. Up she goes. Good trade, Brian. Good trade. And if you bought the in the money $10 call, that thing is going to have intrinsic value of almost $1. That's $100 on each contract he owns. Not bad. Good job. So once again, AI working out. But I mean, we had to find if there's even support to buy, right? We did. It's there. I wouldn't be buying into it now. No, because this is a gap down. So upon filling that gap, and all price has to do to fill the gap is to touch the previous low. That's it. Gap filled. It hasn't filled the gap yet, but it could. And this asset is clearly moving, well, I guess in a range. Not a lot of volume through here. So, yeah, good trade, Brian. Fantastic stuff. What is going on? There. I was wondering, what the hell? Why don't you let me close that? Fantastic move. I mean, you took out yesterday's move. You took out its complete and total move. Nice job. All right. Any other questions? And we're going to wrap it up. Good morning, Tom. Can we take a look at coin, please? Thanks. Yeah. Coin is another one of those things that's literally trading and on its own merits, right? It's not Bitcoin. It does hold a lot of Bitcoin and it does trade like Bitcoin, but for some reason, this is happening to Bitcoin stocks, minor stocks and everything. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's dumping, right? I mean, just look at that. I would base this candle on XRP's news. It's as simple as that. XRP's news caused that to go up. Yearly opening range. Okay, you couldn't buy the yearly opening range. So what do? You go find support. And right there, support. Buy it. Buy it. Leave it. You're actually selling now because you're in profits, right? But yeah, for some reason, even if you look at Mara, for instance, it had a nice move to the upside. It's coming down now this week, but Bitcoin is too, right? But look at last week compared to Bitcoin. Last week, Bitcoin had moved to the upside and puked it all out, gave it all back. Mara, however, did not. It closed on highs. Well, close to highs, above the midpoint, which is good. And then, obviously, Riot. right, did the same exact freaking thing. They're trading on their own merits. Usually this thing does what Bitcoin does, but it's not, right? It's not. It's getting pretty damn close to take profits. I mean, this thing is up 421%. No, you don't want to buy an asset that is up 420%. You want to buy supports. Buy low, sell high. But yeah, coin is doing the same thing. So what you got to do is you got to wait on support. It's as simple as that. You can't buy while it's doing this. You got to wait for it to form support. This is the breakout, so look for resistance. This was clearly the resistance that was holding it down, right? Because you got above it this week and dropped resistance, and even on this week before you broke out, tested, rejected, but then so pull back to there. 74.63 could be a potential buying opportunity. Potential. It's got to hold. The moving averages look good. Obviously, you're overbought. So, yeah, wait for a pullback. But algos do seem to be freaking pushing overbought stocks up and pushing oversold stocks down. I mean, Jesus. Look at that. That's just, puke. Yesterday. They're just straight like killing it. This thing gets back just above oversold, they'll probably hammer it again. And if Verizon and AT&T both are doing the same thing, then why is the sector mooning? Communication sector. Obviously, the AT&T and Verizon does not have a heavy weighting in this. Does not have a heavy weighting. AGIX. Let me go look at it, Chase. AGIX. That AGIX. AGIX. Invalid symbol. Oh, it's a crypto. It's new. Has it made a low? Is this the low of the year? This thing hasn't even, it's barely been trading. February 23. So it's new, I guess. But it's trending to the downside. Yeah, I mean, if support holds right there, if that holds, then you could potentially buy it. And that means on a daily closing basis. Or if you want to be more risky, you can just buy it after you take out yesterday's low, which is like now, right? You would buy it now and you would just use that as your stop. However, intraday, this thing is not looking good. Not looking good. Yeah, you're trading inside of a roughly 5-week zone range, whatever you want to call it. Weekly res there, weekly support there. So I wouldn't buy it until a retest of that. And you can see that this is obviously in a downtrend. They're selling the spikes up, right? Spike up, they sell into them. Up, sell, up, sell, up, sell, until the people who first bought it before it became publicly traded, they are selling. That's usually what happens in an ICO, right? Investors buy it early and then they dump it when it becomes public. They dump into retail buyers. 22,832 is weekly support. You're in the middle of the weekly range. Therefore, I would not take this long today. However, it could work, but I mean, weekly support is also daily support. So where does today close? If today closes above yesterday's low, then on Wednesday, you can look to buy wherever this candle closes. All right, if this is like a bull flag or whatever, it hasn't broken out. Like, that's daily res. Can't get above that. So yeah, it's in an area where it could be a potential buy, but I would wait to see how today closes. And don't buy the first tag of this level because you could fall right through it before closing back above it. If it closes a daily under it, it is not a buy. You are signaling right here a potential bear trap. So for the next 3 days, 2 days, this is going to be something to watch. All right? All right, perfect. You could be making a bear trap now. I don't think so. I mean, I think what I said earlier is happening. Like, the early investors are dumping on retail volume. But if it finds support, if this is going to be a bear trap, then today's close will be essential. You look to buy wherever today closes. You can literally buy it upon the open. That is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put your stop under the low of day. Right? Because like I said, if this is going to be a bear trap, we would expect in the next day or two for it to rip. If it is not a bear trap, you will get stopped out. All right? You will get stopped out. Can I do Tesla? Yeah. Tesla was mooning yesterday based on some news about its truck. It's broken out. Nothing to do. Do not buy it up here, please. You buy support. Once again, I mean, 2-week res is all the way up there. Weekly demand supply all the way up there, $300. Monthly resistance, $300. It looks like $300 is going to be the price target if it continues to go up. That's where I'd look for profit taking or new short positions. I don't think I would short this thing. Obviously, it is bullish. There's your yearly open. But you can't buy it at all time or fresh yearly highs either. You cannot buy at fresh yearly highs. There is an old strategy. The turtle traders, they used to do that. But I'm telling you, nowadays, it ain't the same, right? It ain't the same. So this is where they would have been a buyer. They would have bought upon making a fresh 52-week high, which would have been there. Wait, 52 weeks, so that would be a year. 1 year. All right, so there's your 1 year chart. They wouldn't be buying it yet because 52-week highs are up there. It's not making 52-week highs yet. It's making fresh yearly highs, though. All right, there's a difference. Fresh yearly highs. That's your yearly candle right there. Right? If you look at it, it'll look like that. Open, down, up. So, yeah. I mean, you're above 2021's open. 2022's open was way up there. And so, yeah. Monthly, quarterly levels. Well, you're above quarterly resistance. And you gapped up. Tested it. And that would have been a buy. Right there. Because you gapped up above quarterly res, came back in to fill the gap and retest, and up she went. Nice, what, 265 up to 290? That's not a bad trade. So wait for support. Support is going to be 272. Wait for support. 272. Yeah. Tech is just killing it, right? And it has been. I mean, you just made all-time highs yesterday on the XLK. New all-time highs. Fair market bounce. Fresh all-time highs on tech sector. XLC not so good. Energy definitely not good. Consumer discretionary is doing good. It's up on the year. XLF not doing good, but it's breaking out, right? I'm an idiot. You're an idiot if you use this level as a resistance. Come on, man. That's the yearly open. You just don't know what you're talking about. You can either A, sell it there, or B, buy it there. Why? Because it's the yearly open. If this thing closes up on the year, buying it on the yearly open is not going to be a bad place, is it? No, it's an objective level. And it did act as resistance the first, second, and third day of trading up here. But yesterday it had a freaking bang on day. It's probably killing that calendar spread. Now it still says that I'm up. I don't know how. I guess the call I bought is offsetting the call I sold. Yeah. Let me go check it because I took a trade in XLF. The calendar spread. Why? Because it was at the yearly open. That's why. XLF. Shit. Let's do it like this. We'll do 10. Oh, let's do 8 strikes because I want to open them both to show you. This is nothing more than a calendar spread. You buy the same. You sell a near-term call, right? You sell a near-term call. It's in the money by 2 strikes, but it's offset by this because it's the same price, 34. This, all you're doing is you're waiting for this to almost close, right? You don't take it to expiration, almost. And then the hopes is this that you bought will be worth more than this call. It's hard for me to explain it, but I am working on it. I'm making, like, I have to write all this stuff down because I'll forget it in the videos. So just give me some time. But look at this. This thing is freaking out. Look at this up here. What is going on? My computer is taking a dump on me. Or just this platform. But anyways, that's the hopes, right? That this thing expires worthless. It doesn't, like, I like Thinkorswim. Like, I like the platform of Thinkorswim better because it shows you everything. Like, it's amazing what you can do on that platform, but I don't know anything about this yet. I'm still working on it. Like, I've only had it open for a week, not even a week. And so far the P&L is up 2%. Not bad. Obviously the $34 strike call, the one that's further out, right, is the one that you're going to be making the money on, not the near term call that you sold. It's this one. You're just waiting for time, right? It's like you're buying time. But I would have liked it much better if it would have stayed within 34 and 33.50. Because that call that I sold would be out of the money and it would expire worthless. But seeing how it's in the money, I should probably close the trade. It was all based on this. I did expect it to go up because this is the banking sector. I mean, the financials. It's all your big banks, and they're having earnings right now. That's another reason why I should close this trade. You should not trade options through earnings, regardless of what you've thought or been told. Do not do it. AMD and last time DXY was at this level, Bitcoin was at 46K for you. Why is it not going up? Lil Il Pluto, I have no clue, bro. No clue. It should be. Yeah. It absolutely should be going up. All right, so let me look at AMD and Intel, and then I'm out of here. All right, AMD. AMD's pulling back. This is the area of support. You might not get all the way down there. This is your new area of support. So if it gets down to 111.32, watch that on a daily closing basis. All right. On a daily closing basis. This is like, I don't know why it isn't performing as good as other technology stocks, but it is a good stock. This is a good company. So I would watch a 111 or 105. These two areas. And that's AMD. And obviously I'm bullish on it until you lose the 21 in the near term. Right? Until you lose the 21 on the near term. See, like this right here, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about on Bitcoin. Let it trade under the 50. Let it set that bear trap. And if it is going to be a bear trap, it should rip then. All right, and what is TEL? Is it a stock or is it a crypto? It is a stock. Tellurian. Well, it's down on a year, which is not a good sign, but it's not down bad. In fact, it could have made a yearly low. Lots of support down here. That's a very small range. Yeah, resistance. This is where you got to break out, okay? So if you're expecting it to go up, if you are not in a position yet, this is where you want to see it get above and go, right? This is the yearly opening range. If it acts like resistance again here, then you may be going down to make a fresh yearly low because you are in a downtrend. All right? Until you get back above this, this is the price to buy, 168. All right? And don't buy it with leverage. It's not going to be a day trade. You're buying it simply to hold it, expecting it to close higher on the year. Once again, if it fails there, then you can just close the trade down. As you won't lose a lot of money. This is not a big mover, obviously. You're at $1.58. You're 10 cents away from the yearly opening range. So these candles are literally like 5-6 cents wide. Very slow mover. So you can manage risk on this. Simple. Just don't buy 5,000 shares. Because then a 10-cent move would, be a $500 move. Don't buy with leverage. See what happens right there. That's the price to watch, my friend. That's your yearly opening range. Acted as resistance once. So if it gets back up there again, there's probably a higher probability that you could at least expect it to get to 175 as it would take out this high. All right. That's not your yearly high. That's just the midpoint. It's just, this is a trend. This is a pullback confirmation. However, you made a higher low. So this stock could be in the midst of a trend change. So yeah, I like the idea of watching 168. You can buy it there. Look, just simply like this. This is what you're looking for. Something like that, right? All right. That's good. All right. Thank you guys always for being here. I appreciate your time, as I know it is very, very valuable. Thank you so much. We will be going live again Thursday. There is no high risk news events this week, so there's no point in doing any extra streams. We'll be doing this Thursday morning, roughly around the market open, say 9 o'clock, or maybe the same time this today. We'll see. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody.